Hi everyone, Drew with Drew Talks. Now, right now, a lot of people are moving to Montana, which I think is kind of cool. I love living here and I understand why other people would want to live here also. Now, if you're coming to Montana from the Midwest area and some parts of the South, you're not going to find a ton of difference in our culture as opposed to the one you came from. If you're coming here from the coasts and some of the areas of the deep South, you're going to find there are a few little differences that you need to know about. First of all, if you're visiting with somebody in their house and you say, well, I should be going, and you just get up and you go, don't do that. When people do that to me, I fret forever that I said something offensive. You don't just get up and leave. You get up and you do the preliminary, oh, I think it's about time I go. And then you continue your conversation for a good 30 to 45 minutes as you're moving to the door, putting on your shoes. Then you stand with the door open and talk some more. And this finally ends when you and your host are by your car, you're standing with the door open, getting into your car, and you need another 15-minute conversation right there. If you just say, well, I'm leaving, and you leave, that's really rude. You have to do the preliminary, I think I'm about to leave, and then 45 minutes later, you actually leave. Anything less than that, they will think they offended you in some way and you're just bolting out of there. Yes, you said, I think I'm gonna go, and you just left, but that's not the way it works. That's code for, I'm gonna wrap this up in about an hour. You're gonna need to stock up on some good jeans. You probably will never wear dress pants again unless you're required to wear them for your work. Otherwise, you're gonna wear jeans. Some nice events like graduations and stuff. Yes, sometimes you'll break out a dress, but for the most part, totally acceptable for Christmas parties, for gatherings. Nice jeans with maybe a nice pair of heels or shoes or boots. That's what you will need. Jeans, if you have a dog. If your dog gets into livestock and injures the livestock and kills them, it is the social norm for you to put that animal down. So don't come up here and your animal is destroying the rancher's livelihood and be surprised when they say, well, I guess you're going to have to put that dog down. Because that is such a cultural norm. If you balk at that, they won't even know how to take that. It's just what is expected of an animal that kills livestock. Property rights are a big deal here. You do not trespass on people's property. If there is a gate, you stay on the other side of it. You don't walk across people's lawns. In Montana, almost everything is named after Lewis and Clark. It's like our one claim to fame. We don't have any US presidents, but we got Lewis and Clark. Montana is actually pretty diverse. We have all the tribes up here. We have a lot of different cultures. We have the miners in Butte. We have the homesteaders in eastern Montana. But the thing that unites us all is the general consensus that Custer was an absolute idiot. You should also know that Yellowstone Park is ours. Yellowstone Park is not a national park, nor does it have anything to do with that other state south of us. Yellowstone Park is a Montana park. We won't be told otherwise. There are a lot of guns in Montana. This is gun country, but don't be surprised if you see them out and about. Some people open carry. Most people conceal carry, so just because you can't see them, there's probably somebody armed around you somewhere. Know the difference between hobby farming and actually farming in the agricultural community. If you are an actual farmer, you're probably going to need at least a section of land. If you are hobby farming, you can go with a smaller plot, but don't tell people, oh, I'm running land, I'm a farmer, when you just have like 20 acres and a few goats. Also be aware, a lot of people dream of coming up here and owning horses and having horse property. Horse property can be expensive, but horses are very expensive. So know what you're getting into before you launch into that. Montanans are very friendly, but we're not overtly hospitable. If you're coming from the South, I spent some time in the South and I've discovered that everywhere I went, people fed me whole meals. When you come up to Montana, they are not going to feed you everywhere you go. In fact, I would say our potlucks are pretty lackluster. Like somebody will bring some goulash and then somebody will pick up some donuts on the way in. And some people will just bring a big bowl and dump chips into it. And that is our way of feeding you. We'll offer you coffee. Also, Montanans don't generally argue. If you are saying something that they find offensive or they disagree with, they'll probably just go quiet and let you talk away. So if you are very overtly aggressive and argumentative, they will probably just assume that you aren't from there. If you're going to buy your property here in the summer and you're at the end of a mountain road, you may not be able to get out of that property in the winter. It's very cold. Your face will hurt when you step outside. You will feel your nose hairs crystallize. Pump your brakes. If I am going somewhere and it's below freezing outside, I leave all my faucets on a nice slow drip to try to stop my pipes from freezing. Last thing I'm going to tell you, they did a survey of the US and they asked people if they liked the state they lived in. 77% of people surveyed said they love living in Montana. That was the highest ranking state out of all of them. Now, what's kind of funny about that is Montanans love living here, but if you ask them what Montana is known for, they'll say things like the Freeman or the Unabomber, high suicide rates. That's what they'll say. They'll say stuff like that, and they all love living here, but they'll say these horrible statistics that just casts this bleak shadow on the state, like we are living up here in the Arctic tundra with nothing but crazy mountain men and suicide. But truthfully, it's a great state to live in. And if you are planning on coming up here, we welcome you. But do know that the culture might be a little different than what you are used to where you come from. So go ahead, like this video, share, subscribe, dislike, leave a comment, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.